Hey guys, welcome back. Just making another video, and I just want to touch on a couple of things in relation to reality and beliefs, that kind of thing, because I think it's important at the beginning of the adolescence driving journey to really understand the differences between these things and how they can affect their belief system and how they act moving forward. So basically, the first thing you need to understand is that there's two types of reality. You've got objective reality and subjective reality. Objective reality is basically everything that exists as it is and how you perceive it with your five senses. So, for instance, the road exists as the road, a car exists as a piece of metal. What else? A traffic light, other cars, people exist. They are just humans walking around, that kind of thing. What is true? What is factual? As things exist, and how you perceive them. That's basically objective reality. What you see, what you hear, what you can smell, what you can taste, that kind of thing. Okay. Now, subjective reality is basically when you interpret those things that we've just mentioned as part of objective reality. So when you place a judgment on them, or when you interpret them, or when you add an emotion to them. So you might see a vehicle traveling at speed, and objectively that is a vehicle or a car moving, but subjectively you might have an opinion of that, saying that car is going really quickly. I believe that car's going really quickly. Okay, so that's your subjective reality, the idea that the car is moving quickly. The objective reality would be a car moving. The subjective reality that you have formed is that car is moving quickly, or that car is speeding. Okay, so there's a couple of examples down here. The scenario is a car is tailgating you while you're driving. The objective reality is there is another vehicle following at a certain distance behind you, and there is the sound of a horn as well. Okay, now your subjective reality, you might think, gee, I'm unsafe, I can't cope with this, driving so stressful, I can't deal with this car being so close to me and the driver honking its horn behind me. That's your subjective reality of that particular situation. Okay? By having a subjective reality, you're placing an emotional weight on that particular situation or on that circumstance, and that can influence your behavior, i.e., your actions. Okay? Now, over time, if you repeat these interpretations and these judgments, they're going to form habits, and that's how your beliefs are going to form about driving. Okay? Now, what you'll do once you have a particular belief about driving that's formed from these experiences, you're going to seek out other evidence or other experiences or information that confirms what you already believe. And this is called confirmation bias. For example, if you believe you are a nervous driver based on past experiences which have formed your beliefs, you're going to pick up and you're going to notice every stressful event and judge it as evidence to support what you already believe or what you already think you are. And if you don't believe me, next time you're driving around or you're the passenger in a car and you notice something, after you notice, think about what you thought what were your thoughts of that particular experience or that particular circumstance or situation, and think about whether it confirmed what you already believe. Can almost guarantee it will. Now, the danger of this is it creates a negative feedback loop, especially if your belief about a particular thing is negative, or it causes you a certain type of emotion or to be in a certain type of state. And the examples down here are anxiety or a particular limiting behavior. Okay? The good thing is, though, they don't have to be just negative feedback loops. They can be positive feedback loops, and ultimately that's what we want to try and achieve. That's where we want to be. And we do this by disrupting these loops. Now, how do we disrupt these loops? There's basically 3 steps. You need to gather information, gather critical information that's accurate and factual, and that's backed up by evidence or reinforced by evidence. And in this day and age, there's various ways of doing this. There's books, there's videos, there's a multitude of things online that you can watch and listen to, podcasts. You can just do it while you're going about your day-to-day life and just observing things. Okay? You then apply and practice those new behaviors. So you might want to, you might have a limiting belief or a fear of, let's use the example before, a fear of tailgating, somebody tailgating you, okay? And every time you see another car being tailgated or there's a car tailgating you, that negative feedback loop keeps occurring and keeps getting stronger and stronger. So you want to disrupt that loop. So while you're out driving, you're going to look for examples where cars or where people are not tailgating each other and they're giving each other plenty of room. And you're going to observe these, and then you're going to apply and practice them while you're driving, while you're learning to drive. Okay? Obviously, we start out slowly, low pressure environments, until you get more and more confident with that particular skill. The last step in disrupting these negative feedback loops is actually looking at them objectively. So we talked about at the start of this video the difference between objective and subjective reality. So to break down a particular limiting belief or experience like the tailgating incident, if you look at that objectively, you have a car behind you at a certain distance. Once you say you have an aggressive driver following you at speed really closely, you've placed your judgment on that situation, and that is your subjective reality. So you want to look at that situation objectively. All it is a car behind you at a certain distance. If you break it down and take all the emotion out of it, take all your judgment out of it, that is exactly what it is. And here's the example here. Okay. So by doing this, identifying the positive behavior or the positive experiences, you're basically identifying with a new belief, and that's going to start to reinforce itself as you observe more and more of these. Okay, and that's how we form a new belief in relation to this kind of experience and situation. So I hope you got a bit out of this. I find this quite interesting, and I think it's important for adolescents to be aware of and to try and understand, because if they can get their head around this at the start of their driving career or journey, whatever you may want to call it, it's going to help them along the way, because there's going to be many different experiences and situations that they come across. And if they can look at these things objectively without placing too much emotion on the experience, then it's going to help them form good, positive beliefs. Therefore, they're going to establish good identities, good, safe, confident driving identities, which will then lead to a higher driving standard that they will ultimately hold themselves to. And that's what we want. So I hope you got a bit out of it. If you have any questions, drop me a comment below or shoot me an email. And I'll see you in the next one.